how I roll now. No reasonable doubt, it's clear to see. All eyes on me for 100 degrees. Who am I? Ruthless, easy, does it. In public, hated or love it. The underdogs with liquor swabs. It was written in my diary to start a war. I'm feeling infamous, immortal with my technique. A revolutionary shining with diamond teeth. Young Don Cartagena, excuse my demeanor. This the glamour life, you still not a player, you ain't half as nice. I'm born again, life after death. I made the sacrifice and super duper fly. Used to keep them hypnotized. I said my name is Juice, America's most. Ain't no half stepping, see you at the crossroads.
Money over on my install. Here lies them getting paid for. Never take a loss on my install. Only take a when I'm dead. I'm gang 3 times on my install. Been from the cradle to the grave. Now your favorite rapper name on the install. Too late, he already lived. It was written.
And we welcome all of our viewers inside a place that the folks around here like to call the Vault. And that's Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Los Angeles Rams and the Carolina Panthers. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
All right, get set, fellas.
And they'll go on the ground. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
Down, 180, 734.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Now Carr. Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack. Well, these sacks are really piling up. Last week, it was a half dozen sacks. And here's one on the opening drive.
And it has the potential to be what we call a gap, a game-altering play. Because, let's face it, you just mentioned 6 sacks last week. Now, if you're an offense and you saw that on tape, you've got to think to yourself, maybe I bring people in, keep them in, and try and protect my quarterback. It didn't work on that play.
Open here, Adam Thielen. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 23 yards on the play.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing routes. How about another? He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. 25 yards the pickup there, and also a first down. Relatively small sample size, but that's his longest run of the first quarter. Bounced it out to the outside to make it successful.
And to get there, you actually need some help. It's not just your pure speed getting to the corner, making sure that the blocking is taken care of inside so the pursuit doesn't get you. And oftentimes, those wide receivers, tight ends that might be flexed out, they've got to control the edge and make sure no one from the outside can spill the play before he gets there.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. They'll run it now out of the gun. He will push his way down to about the 14. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
But that's all about doing the dirty work right there defensively. 2nd and short yardage, that's all about plugging those gaps, not giving a running back a crease to run through, and has a nice job to hold him just a couple and force a 3rd down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down and a yard.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on 4th.
Get down, get down. 180.
They'll go for it. It's Carr. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. No luck for the Rams as they fail here on 4th down. And this crowd into it early. Their guys stand tall on the opening drive of the football game. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 11, he goes down. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39.
Now they'll run it on the toss. He spins free.
Another miss.
Still on his feet. 38 yards on the scamper there.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw down that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy and say, listen, I was the point of attack. I took care of business. That's why you're able to get downfield and add all those yards to your total.
Yeah, really nice gain there. The big play has him all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. First down, Mayfield. Buying time to his left. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Yeah, not much there that time, and I think we were both wondering once he got out of the box whether he just throw the ball away and he winds up only picking up a yard or 2.
Set! Blue 90! Blue 90!
They'll try to throw here. Mayfield. The completion good. This is Eric Ebron. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. A first down throw for Mayfield, and it's incomplete. Getting a hand in there and knocking it away, Eddie Jackson.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10.
Now let's go!
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll be taken down at the 34. There to stop him, Chad Thomas.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Got to get to the 26 for a first. This is third down.
Gone, gone! Gone, gone! All right, here we go. 3:19!
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. So 5 yards there as one of the big guys up front moved.
And in a 4-3 front, you got the 2 defensive tackles right near the football. I know there's a lot of movement around there, but they're always taught to have one eye on the football. Apparently, that didn't happen.
To throw, Mayfield. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32.
And that's their first sack of this game, but how about last week? 6 sacks. Great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
And Gold is able to put it through. And the Panthers stake claim to a 3-0 lead. So a pretty good opening drive. That'll make the home fans somewhat happy. They wanted 6, but they got 3 in the early lead.
And they should be happy. The guys look good getting down the field. That's got to give them a little bit of hope that good things are in store here today for them.
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you've got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you've got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit if they're in the same spot again.
Yeah, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Carr now on 1st down. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Carr. And he comes back with one complete. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. 18 yards on his first catch of the game. It's a 1st down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he's going to take this one in for a Rams touchdown. In for the score. And the Rams are going to take a first-quarter lead. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. Carlson now to kick this one away. Jamal Agnew now to return it. And he's going to take this all the way down inside the 40.
But when the highlight is shown of this play, all attention is going to be on the person running with the football. But how about the group as a whole? Setting up that big-time return, yardage that we won't even account for in the box score, may help them win the game.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Now let's go.
They go play action here on 1st down. He's going to go for it. And this is caught inside the 5. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. An excellent pickup of 34 yards. With my good friend Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin with you. It's the... They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. No gain there, and it's going to set up 2nd and goal. 2nd and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. They'll give it to him up the middle. They're able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the 1.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
Yeah, didn't get the push they needed. 3rd and goal. This L.A. Rams defense will try to bow up once more.
Back to Philly. Here we go. All right, here we go. 3-19.
It's a quarterback sneak. So call that no gain on the sneak, and now they're still a yard short here on 4th.
Now, this feels like old-school football because this has turned into a good old-fashioned goal line stand. So on offense, what do you do now? Do you decide to run it or throw it if you go for it on 4th down?
Here we go now. Blue, 90.
Needing the tough yards, they run it with their fullback. And he takes it into the end zone for a Panthers touchdown. It's the fullback, his first touchdown on the year. And his guys are able to strike for 6. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be fielded at the 8. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The Rams offense now making their way out to take over. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Carr now on 1st down. And he'll find Thielen on the right side. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Now a play fake. Carr. Throw right side, taken in by Godwin. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. He had their lone TD earlier. Now he's got a 1st down. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Throwing on 1st down is Carr. He completes it to Nelson. And he'll get it down here to the 43. A gain of 6 there on 1st. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain that time, as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. Working from the gun, it's Carr. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. Give him 3 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Well, the offense failed earlier on the previous crack at this, but they're going again on 4th down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to have the 1st down yardage to the 35. Well, they deemed it 4-down territory, and they got 4 yards to pick up the 1st. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now Carr on the bootleg. Looking for for Godwin, and he's got him complete. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 15 yards through the air and a first down. From the gun, it's Carr. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. On play action, now Carr. And his throw is incomplete.
Well, one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing. And
they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be fourth down.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball in this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone, get you 6?
Now they'll run it on the toss. And some room to roam now. Fancy footwork at the 45. And all the way down to the 26. A big play there for the Panthers. 49 yards on the ground. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10.
Here we go now.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. 2 minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. Back with more from Charlotte after this. From the red zone now, Mayfield rolling to his right. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at 2nd down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. Well, he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Panthers have broken our tie as they take the lead. Gold able to tack on the extra point. And that makes it a 17-10 score. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This one taken from the 7. And an alley to run. The Red Sea parts, and there he goes.
All right, let's give credit where credit is due. How about that return? Great blocking, great vision, all the way down to the 2-yard line. The only person who has to be upset, the guy who didn't get it into the end zone. That far and no reward?
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And we've got a tie game here in a back-and-forth first half. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And onto the field, here come the Panthers. They have to be pleased with the way that they've moved the football thus far.
And why wouldn't they be? 2 touchdowns on a field goal in their first 3 possessions. They're playing so well right now, the field goal probably feels like a disappointment.
Now let's go. Blue line it.
Mayfield on first down. Forced out to his left. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. And now the Rams are going to halt things as they want a timeout, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Now following the sack, they'll come up here on a second down and 12.
Detroit! Detroit! Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19. Over.
From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. And the pressure gets to him again. And the Rams are going to go ahead and take another timeout, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. From the gun, Mayfield. He's going to look deep down the field. And got his man complete. And all the way down to the 36-yard line. A big third down play there for the Panthers. 48 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for first and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Now a second down throw for Mayfield. And he's got his man on the out route. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 15 yards through the air and a first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to take this down to about the 17. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1. The Panthers on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. Escaping the pressure right. Now the ball comes loose, and the Rams have got it back. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. Now a handoff looking right. So nothing separating these two teams as we head. Okay, well, so much for the halftime report here. Guy can't even finish his Snickers. We're going to get right to the 3rd quarter. Let me spit this out. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Out come the Panthers. They'll have it first on offense in the third quarter. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game. We'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You got.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Danny Shelton able to drop him for a loss of a couple.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
They'll come up after the sack on a 2nd and 12.
Set! 3-19! 3-19!
Throwing, Mayfield. Flush to his right. Now he'll let it go deep right. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Carr. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off around the 41. And he will score. Touchdown, Panthers. And on that one, with 6 defensive backs, did he need to be more careful throwing the football? I mean, I guess obviously in hindsight he did, but...
Yeah, hindsight, but even in foresight, when you got 6 defensive backs on the field, you just know you're going to get multiple coverages. You're never sure what you're going to see. But the biggest one is you don't have much reaction time for your receivers to go get the football because those guys, they're the best cover guys on the field. They go get it. And on that play, they took it the other way for 6 points.
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And they'll run it here. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Throw left side on target to Thielen. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
They only got a yard out of that last completion. And that makes this 2nd and 9. Shotgun now for Carr. The Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down. Grady Jarrett getting in there from his defensive tackle spot to snow him under for a loss of 4. The Rams on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd down and 12. Operating from the gun. Carr, left side here. That's complete to Godwin. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, You're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. Now the Panthers offense, they get set to come back onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
Watch it now, Barney,
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Fletcher Cox. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here.
Here we go now.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And a nice run to get this up over the 20-yard line. He digs them partway out of the hole that they're in. It's an 8-yard gain, and it makes it 3rd and 12. The Panthers on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd down and 12.
Lucky 56. All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Mayfield. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Partner, the way this offense has marched up and down the field during this game, it's almost a surprise to see an incomplete pass on 3rd down, isn't it?
Yeah, they have had their foot on the gas all game long, but here finally stalling out. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He can make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Now Carr. And he will not get away from the pressure here. Carr taken down. Well, it was 2nd long. Now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
On 3rd and long, it's Carr. And he's going to go down again. Grady Jarrett in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
43 yards on the punt. 7-yard return, and possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here are the Panthers now as their offense comes back out onto the field. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
Blue 90. Blue 90.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Call it no gain there, and it brings forth a 3rd and long.
And that's one of the few times they've been able to contain him. He's had a heck of a game, and maybe he's getting a little bit tired from how many times he's carried the ball. But I always think back to what all those old coaches say. The ball's not that heavy. Keep carrying it, kid.
The Panthers on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 14.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
action now. Here's Mayfield. And able to find Deshaun Hamilton complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. They give him a gain of 38.
Now that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
And they'll go on the ground. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
And they'll go ground game here on the tailback. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Hurry up, here we go.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I'm getting the sense that Fletcher Cox is making offensive linemen want to take the week off when they have to play against him.
It's a regular routine for him, isn't it?
It really is. That play there, that's him all day long. Good luck trying to block in and keep him from disrupting your offense.
And trying to push forward, but he is going to be stuffed up in the backfield. It'll be a loss of 1, and that is going to set up 3rd and goal. And we're back now in Charlotte. They need to reverse the trend. The last 2 plays have gone backwards. Now it's 3rd and goal.
Over.
They come out here in the eye. They'll give it to him right up the gut. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to bring up a 4th and goal.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score 1 touchdown,
you're 2.
You're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got 1 that was denied as he tried to get the second one.
So his 2nd field goal of the game, and that could turn out to be the big one.
Yeah, you have to make them score twice to beat you, and that's not impossible. But here in the 4th quarter, puts their backs clearly against the wall.
This one taken from the 7. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. And the Rams getting set to go now. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? 23 yards on the play. Off the bootleg. Carr. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Carr will try it again on second down. And this is caught at the 8. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Fifth catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down. So there on that play, offensively, they ran the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage. So as a former DB, how tough is it to defend that?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver and maybe leave your zone. So you have to have discipline in order to talk to your other coverage guys and let him know that that receiver's crossing from your zone to the next zone. He's coming your way. Make sure you have him. And then when the ball is actually thrown, secure the tackle. When they're moving on crossing routes, if you miss a tackle, it usually results in a big play.
Again, they'll throw with Carr. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off inside the 5. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games. And now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
Hurry up, here we go.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. And now the Rams are going to halt things as they want a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter.
Hurry up, here we go.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. Eddie Jackson with a tackle.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. The Panthers on 3rd down. Lacking much success. Just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 8.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
And they'll run it here. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 10, right around the 9-yard line. And the Rams are going to go ahead and take another timeout. That's going to be their second. They'll be left with 1 more plus the 2-minute warning. And we'll be back. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. He'll take it at the 42. That'll go as a 46-yard punt with a return of 7. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. The Rams offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, it does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. A good start there on this fourth quarter drive. They need more of what we just saw.
Down a couple of scores. There's still time, all right? It's not like they're totally out of it, but they have to score quickly, and they're going to need some big-time plays, chunk plays, explosive plays. They need yardage on each snap.
15 yards through the air and a first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And only able to muster a couple down to about the 27.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. Now Carr throwing on 2nd down. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
And that incompletion was caused by the defense. I think they were trying to get one into the middle of the field, trying to find a receiver there. But they were in zone defense. And what are the advantages of being in zone? Eyes and reaction. Eyes meaning all eyes are on the quarterback and able to react when he throws the football and rally to that spot. And that's exactly what happened there. Able to.
And it's complete. He's got it in the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. As his guys are in for 6. And the Rams are able to get back within a touchdown. And it's no good. Well, that could be a critical miss here in a 1-score game in the 4th. Carlson now to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Panthers offense here, they get ready to head back on the field. Right now clinging to a one-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10.
Now let's go.
Right back to him on 1st down. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. So that will leave them with no timeouts left. Still plenty of time on the clock. We'll see how that affects things here in this 4th quarter. Now they'll run it on the toss. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35. Now the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right. But the problem for them is still within a possession. So they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down.
Everyone's got four down. Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down at the 34. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. Here's Marquette King now, as he's on to punt for Carolina. Oh, it's a wobbler here. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. And the Rams now coming out on the field. Back to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. Give him 8 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on 2nd and a couple. He'll look to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. He's back to throw. It's caught. Nelson. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
Well, how about keeping your head about you in this situation? No more timeouts. Finds a way to get out of bounds. Now they can breathe a little bit as they contemplate what to do on the next down.
They'll look to throw. And he finds a man on the crossing route. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. Back to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. A gain of 6 there on first. They're making steady progress, but I see your face. You're worried about that clock.
I'm worried about the clock, and at some point, you have to have a splash play in there as well.
And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
This defense needs a big play in the worst way because so far, they're not putting up much of a fight. If they don't get a stop here soon, this game could be over for them.
Back to throw, Carr. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
I wouldn't be shocked at all right. And usually, he's able to use his body and catch the football, but a really nice play by the defenders, able to knock it away.
Now Carr. Now a desperation throw. And this is caught. Touchdown. And they've taken the lead here in the final minute.
Wow, I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that you got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you.
Wilson now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this.